and welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm going to use this microphone because I think it's louder. Can you hear me? Yes. All right, good.
Yeah, better.
I think they at least have my college picture up here. You know, I think before it was high school. We're moving along. But hey, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to today. I was here in June. I really loved it. This is where it happens, right? You're the voice of Stone Harbor. We're servant-based leaders. We work for you, not the other way around. And forums like this are really important to understand how you're feeling and in which direction you want us to go. So thanks for having me. I want to thank the trustees for giving me a few minutes. I want to thank our special guest, Commissioner Barr. You don't know this because he's very humble, but we got $1.2 million and we wouldn't have been able to build 97th Street Playground without the commissioner's help. Through an open space grant, which is really a big chunk of it. So that was a really great collaborative effort. And I also want to thank our council members that are here. We work well together. This is a team effort, right? It's an entire governing body that, well, you know, we don't always agree, but I think in the majority of the time we do. But debate is healthy, right? So I wrote a few notes down, and I looked on the back of this. I wrote these notes down at breakfast. This is actually an Uncle Bill's menu. And we'll, during Q&A, we will talk about whether Uncle Bill's is on the same level as Fishing Pier Grill, but we can kind of talk about that later. But you know, people ask me, what do you think about beach replenishment? What do you think about the budget? What do you think about shared services? And I'm sure they ask the council members all the time. And really, I don't need to have the answers. I just need to be a good listener. And I really just need to be your voice, right? Listen to a majority of the citizens, and they will guide you in the right direction. And I think that's very important. I also want to say a few words about our town. I'm really honored to represent our town at certain gatherings, and I love Stone Harbor. And yes, I love it for our beaches, and we've got great back bays, and we've got a world-class business district. But you know what's the best thing? It's the people. And they're the glue, you know, they're sort of the gas that runs the engine. And they all have great backgrounds and different skill sets, and they bring a lot to the table. And when I see people in this room being part of the community, whether you're putting on the music series or helping with Harbor Hustle or putting events like this on, it makes me feel really good. And we can't do it alone. It really comes from you. You know, I had the opportunity to meet with Bob Kelly from Fox 29, actually probably the night before we were here in June. And he called me and said, listen, I want to come for 5 hours and I'm going to spotlight your town and we're going to go into restaurants and retail. And I'm like, that's great. He said, I'll meet you at 4. And I said, PM? He starts at 4 a.m., which is unbelievable. But he was right here at the movie theater. And we went from store to store. We went through Jay's on 3rd. He was on air for 5 hours. We took him to the movie theater. I told him we had a Taylor Swift exhibit. He said, Swifties. We got in his car, grabbed the cameraman, and away we went. 7:30 in the morning, we woke up the president, Terry Fisher and Josie Rich, and they were on TV in about 20 minutes, so I'm sure they were very happy with me. But anyway, the reason I tell the story is I was saying goodbye to him, and he got in the car, and he said, this is a really special place. He says, there's really nice people here. It's a beautiful town, and you should be proud. And I said, we are. We're very privileged to be here, and I think about that a lot. So what I wanted to do is just give you a snapshot over the last 8 months. Collaboratively with council, with our department heads, with all of you in the community, we were able to do some really great stuff in 8 months. And we've got a lot more to do. And there are lessons learned, right? You know, I probably want to take a couple things back, but I just thought we did a lot in 8 months, and there's a lot more to come. So I just wanted to review my home movies with you over the last 8 months, take some questions, And then I'm going to also challenge you a bit. Community service is important, and I think you get out of Stone Harbor what you put back into it. And I give extra credit for people who volunteer. You know, we just went through the 8 weeks of the music series, and it was absolutely fabulous. I've probably had 20 people in the last 2 days tell me how great it was. So Marty's here from the Chamber, Marty Lengel. Thank you, Marty. But the Chamber can't do it alone. They have a partner in us. And then you have all these volunteers that show up all the time. So my challenge to you at the end of this is we've got, I don't know, 15 committees, boards. We've got the rec committee, we've got planning, we've got the zoning board, we have the shade tree commission, we have a stormwater management. Justine, I'm looking at Justine, I'm thinking stormwater management. That's all I see when I see you, Justine. No, so I challenge you to sign up for something that interests you. If not, I'll be calling you and kind of drafting you. So with that, we will just go through this rather quickly, and I won't take up a lot of your time. So really, this year started with Shiver. It was amazing, driven, in partnership with Chamber and the borough. We sent roughly $10,000 to the branches food bank, about $6,000, which is a really great thing. We had a lot of fun. We brought the town together, and it was sort of a kickoff for the season. We also swore in a new police chief. We swore in 3 new police officers, and we promoted a captain. So that was sort of early on in the January timeframe. I see Grace Martin here, and you're in a lot of these pictures, by the way. I don't know how it happened, but it's a great thing. So we were also, through the commissioner's help, able to get $1.2 million in open space grant money and get this playground built on 97th Street on time, on budget. And the kids love it. There's 50 kids there every day. A new basketball court, new shade structures. We repaired the bocce court. We're building a public restroom. We're going to have a new rec center. It's going to look great when it's done. So thanks to all who helped with that. And you know what? I had the privilege of honoring our firefighters and EMS. They do that in like a January, February time frame, and I thought that was important. That's something that happens every year, and I just wanted to thank them. And a couple residents, again, it's about listening. A couple residents came to me and said, you know what? I'm so sick of using Park Mobile to check my mailbox. I mean, what the heck? I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. So with council's help, we created free parking at the post office. What do you say? Good stuff? We were going to put a picture of council member Ken Biddick there, but we decided just to put the P. No, actually, those P's aren't there anymore. They're sort of a different sign. And in January, with council's help, we consolidated our borough engineer. It didn't make any sense to me to have 2 borough engineers, one for planning and one for zoning, because the way things move through our government, the ideas start in planning, they move through zoning, and you need consistency. So now we have one throat choke, if you will. We have one legal representative, and we have the Blasio Associates as our engineer across the board, and they do great work for us, including playground builds. And that's Bill Cathcart, you know him. That's Paul Baldini, our common legal representative, and that's Mr. de Blasio, who does great work for all of us. Then we started with the beach opening. We did the beach opening a little bit different this year. I wanted to thank the people that keep us safe. So we had the lifeguards, and we had the beach taggers, and we had music, and people sang, and we had a blessing, and it was really, I thought, a fabulous opening. And then we had the Memorial Day Parade, and SHPOA was there, and we had our ceremony, obviously, at the Women's Club. It all starts with a very solemn event at the firehouse, and overall, it was just a wonderful day. This goes back to what I talked about, service. I was proud to appoint and have the council approve 3 new members of our zoning board. That's Bill O'Connor on the left, from up in the 120s. You've got Ken Barbuccio in the center on 93rd Street, and you've got Tim Stauning in the 80s. These are all thoughtful people with lots of great business experience, and they're new voices and welcome voices to the zoning board. And we've got more openings, so come see us. Oh, I lost my way here. Oh, I really lost my way. What's going on here? Are we going backwards or frontwards? Which one's backwards? Oh, gotcha. Sorry about that. Okay. Second playground needs to be built. We've got the design locked in. We've got the money. It's going to be at Jake's Place. It's going to be on 82nd Street. It's going to be accessible to children of all learning levels. And I forget how much money we got, actually. We got over $500,000 from Jake's Place, which really helped us get that thing done. And that will be ready for next summer. We're going to have public restrooms on 82nd Street, so when you come off the beach, you can use it. So it's going to look great when it's done. Okay, yeah, this is Bob Kelly. He ran through Jay's, and we started here at the theater, and it was 4 hours of, it was a lot. Anyway, I don't wake up at 4. And then I want to thank everyone in this room. The Harbor Hustle was amazing. And you raised, Jeff, $13,000 for Shells of Hope. Grace Martin is here, sort of the founder of that. Grace, why don't you stand up? And that was a great day. There was a 5K, it was a 1 mile run, it was a 1 mile walk. Yeah, all good stuff. So thank you, SHPOA, for that. And we also, I thought, took really great strides with our employees, who are so important, right? None of this stuff gets done without employees. We were able to promote Jenny Olson and move her to our rec department. She also helps with all our tourism activities. So we're really proud to do that. We have a new public works director in Rocky Tirado, and Bunny is our chair of public works. She was instrumental in that. And we have a new borough clerk, and she's very capable, and she fits right in. So we're very, very proud of them. And where is Susan Barrett? Susan Barrett, give it up for Susan and the team that created the native plantings on 2nd Avenue. That was a really great day, right?
That was the SHPOA project of the year.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was a really great day.
Please visit it.
Yeah, and what street is that on?
109 to 110.
109 and 110 on 2nd. Okay, very good. That was a great day. So, listen, I didn't think we were doing enough with pickleball, right? Everyone's passionate about pickleball. I just had like 5 pickleball players in the mayor's office. I had to call the police, but no, it's good. It was kind of emotional, but we got through it. No, all I'll say about this is we need to invest more in the pickleball courts. They need to be better. They need to be world-class. But we've got capital now to fix them and then resurface them for next year. And that's a great thing. And we have better rates. Council was able to get our rates down to a more manageable level and a more competitive level with our surrounding towns. So thank you, Council. What can I say? Tower Music Series, right? Again, the Chamber, really a keystone of what they do. This was 8 weeks. I think we had 1 week of rain, but it was 7 great nights, and we broke records, did we not? This year, as far as attendance? Yeah, I think we were 800-900. They sent me out to count every one. I said, I can't, it's a lot of people. Anyway, that was really great. And you know what? We fought the law and we won. You know, we worked with our partners in Avalon to fight the federal government so that we could pull sand from Hereford Inlet, which is right here, versus pumping it from Sea Isle. This is going to save us probably north of $3 million on the next beach replenishment. We had $3.2 million in that fund for beach, dune, and bulkhead work. But that was a big win, and we had partners there, and we had a win in our affordable housing space, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but that was a great win. This was a great event where we honored Jim and Joey Fisher, who've been around forever, who run the hardware store, and I think we raised $30,000 at that one event. Terry Fisher, instrumental, and the board, obviously, of the museum. This is important to me. When I got sworn in, I kind of felt like we had some bad press, you know? And I didn't like it. I was like, are you kidding me? I think we're one of the best towns on the East Coast, and what's with the bad press? So we've been working with council. We have a new PR firm, which helps us get messaging out there. We've built relationships with the editor of Cape May Herald, Vince Conti, who's always attends our meetings and is on the Stone Harbor beat. And I will say, I've seen about a 45%, 50% increase in positive stories. You know why? Because we feed them positive stories. So, you either work with the press or they work on you. And I think we've turned it around. And we've also had similar success sort of across the board on the big papers. So, again, I think that's really important. I'm very happy and proud of the way our emergency management team responded to Hurricane Erin. 50-mile-an-hour winds and up to 16 feet rises in waves. And that's the way it looked. And that's the way it looked after. So we got at it. I mean, that thing was ready to go in 24 hours. So thank you to Public Works. Again, Bunny's the chair there. And emergency management and public safety. Lots of stuff, right? We're doing lots of stuff. We had our annual garden club meeting. Again, just another group, if you're interested, if it fits into your lifestyle, don't forget about this group. They do really great work and make our town look great. This just happened last Sunday. We were able to get the Eagles to come to Stone Harbor. We met them at the bridge, and I thought there would be like 40 people there. there were like 1,000, which is so great. And they brought the trophy and the rings, and I couldn't have been prouder of all of our neighbors. It was really, really great. I think they came from the whole county, but it really helped the business district, I thought. Okay, what's ahead? If you haven't gotten a ticket, please buy a ticket for the spaghetti dinner. It's this Sunday at the Yacht Club. Everyone's invited, and it supports the American Legion, 331. Don't forget about the Christmas parade, obviously, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then we've got Savor. We've got Savor on the 20th. We've got bands, we've got food, we've got wine. I mean, it's probably, again, one of my favorite days in town. Anyway, so that's that. I hope you were cool with my home movies. But when I think about what we did, this is, I don't know, I think it's been a really great 8 months. We got a lot more work to do. So with that, are we taking questions, Chris? Is that how this is going to work? Or? Yeah, okay. Okay, shoot.
Well, ask the question, don't shoot.
Any questions? Okay, yeah, you're going to need to bring it back.
Thank you for your comments today, brother. I have a question concerning the budget, and also it seems to me that we spend a lot of time trying to avoid the spending cap that the state puts on us for the budget, and by moving money around to different areas. And I was just wondering, what are we doing to cut expenses? We try to bring more revenue in, but what are we doing to cut expenses so we don't spend as much and have as much debt as we have?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we'll have to grab that. It's just louder for everyone. Well, thanks for the question. I'm proud of what we did financially this year. We passed a $24 million budget. 15 million of that went against our cap, and we were right up against that cap. There are three levers, right? You can't just tax your way to prosperity, right? It's expense cutting, it's revenue enhancement, and a few other things. So we passed that budget. We got our debt service down by 10%. But remember, one out of every $5 we spend goes to debt payoff, right? 20%, which is pretty normal if you're looking at a municipality. But we did cut spending. We wrung out as much as we could through shared services and just tightening up our salaries and our FTEs, and we did it across the board. Everyone felt a little pain. We did it in police, we did it in fire, we did it in public works, and we were able to do that, get the budget passed, and also go out and get $7 million of capital. What are we going to spend $7 million on? We're going to spend it on flood mitigation, stormwater, infrastructure in the streets. We're going to buy bulletproof vests for the police. We're going to fix some infrastructure, some buildings. The roof on the fire department's leaking, so we got to fix that. So I think it was a good balanced budget this year, but I agree, we're going to need to feel some pain and also look at shared services. And we also did some shared services, again, through A&S help, our finance committee, with our construction office, by sharing those services with Wildwood Crest. Any other questions? You want to run it up there? I'll run it up. I'm like, this will be like, let's make a deal. I'll give somebody $20 if they got a paper clip in their pocket.
Yeah, so I live on the bay, and over the past years, we've all seen this progressive shoaling in that's happening on the channel. And I just wonder, I know we always talk about beach, but the bay's an asset to this community for boaters. And it's getting bad. I mean, at low tide, you can run aground right off the docks at the end of where the end of the peninsula is there. So I'm concerned about that. I'm wondering if we have a plan.
Did everyone hear that plan, the question? Beach replenishment gets all the focus, but what about dredging the back bays? And as part of the cost cutting, we were still able to keep that fund alive. We have $3.2 million right now in a fund for beach replenishment, back bay dredging, and also bulkhead maintenance. So obviously, once we fix this thing with the feds and get some Fed money, I think we'll be able to do that. We use Stockton University to give us sort of readings, and we just got that report. I'd be happy to share it with the public, and it just tells you where the good spots are and where the hot spots are, where you should dredge, where you should, not do anything. But storms can move that, all the time. But we're on it, and we have money to do it. Any other questions? Okay, good. Well, thank you so much.